Okay, now we're going to start out, and we're going to start and we're going to paint one primary color here. The main thing, the main couple things in terms of like when we're painting here that you want to be aware of is that we are using acrylic paint. That acrylic paint can dry relatively quickly, so just don't let your brush just kind of sit loaded with paint and not expect it to dry out if you just let it sit there. So we're going to start out with our blue. When you're looking at our paint right here, here's my little palette, a handy dandy palette right here. I'm going to put some more blue in there. So I'll start out with some blue right here. And when we're working on this, you'll notice that what we have here is we kind of start out with the true color, the hue, the color, which is just plain blue, and then we move from blue to a tint, which is blue plus white, and then we move to a shade, which is blue plus black. And so as we kind of move down, that's the way this is going to work. Okay. You'll notice that what I recommend you do is I recommend you go from the outer ring to the inner ring. And then however you want to do these other sections, it's totally up to you. But like if you're going to do blue, then if you did yellow, then in all likelihood what I probably would do is do green, because in order to make green, you'll notice on the template, you have to mix two primary colors to get that green, because you'll look at your package of paint and you'll be like, where's my green? Well, there is no green. You need to make green. So you're going to need to make your secondary colors. You're going to need to make your green right here. You're going to need to make your violet right here, which is red plus blue. And you're going to need to make your orange, which is right here, which is yellow plus red, okay? And then once this is made, you'll mix this right here to make your tertiary colors. Your tertiary colors are going to be right here. This will be red orange right here, and then this right here will be yellow orange right here. Okay, so you'll notice when you look at the template right here, use your template. Your template will explain a lot of what you're doing. So once you've made this color right here, your tertiary color right here, it'll move down right here like that. You'll make this tertiary color and then you'll add some white, fill in that space. You'll make this tertiary color. Using this tertiary color, you'll mix in some black right here and make that color right there, okay? So when we're working on this, one of the main considerations I'd like you guys to be thinking about is try to keep it neat. And so you'll see I'll just start painting right here. And I like this small little straight edge brush to do what we're gonna do. I would not use like a big brush like that. You may have gotten a big brush like that, and I probably would not use a small little brush like that because it'll take too long. But like a brush like this, or a brush like that are perfect things to use, okay? When I'm working on this, I usually start out by painting the center of these. And when you're working on this project, the thing is that neatness does count. So I usually start out right there. The thing I may do is I may use a paper towel, and I'll use this paper towel to sharpen the edge of my brush, like that. And then I'll come in here, and then I'll start to do the outer edge. You can see I'm trying to get like a nice sharp edge right there. After I'm all done, I may just kind of give it a nice swoop like that across it to give it, if it's like one brush stroke, it'll kind of be nice and straight like that. And I'm all done. All done with that one. Now the next one I'm going to use, I'm going to put some white in here. Put a little bit of white in there. And I'm going to take some blue from over here and mix it in. And mix in a little bit of that right there in order to make my tint. And my expectation for your color wheel is that this is not an exact science. It's more about playing with and just mixing your colors, trying to see what happens in order to make your tint. Okay, so there's not like some exact recipe to make a tint, like 5 parts blue to 1 part white, or 10 parts white to 5 parts blue. What I should see on your color wheel is I should see kind of like a differentiation between the true color and then your tint or your shade. Okay, I've got my tint done there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to clean out my brush a little bit to get that tint out of there. And now I'm going to do my shade. When you're working on the shade, the one thing I'll recommend is that you use very little black. So a little black goes a long way, because otherwise the black will end up overpowering blue. And so now I'm going to come in here, maybe I'll even add some more blue to this pure blue right here. The one thing don't do is don't mix a tint. Don't use your tint paint to make your shade. So what I mean by that is, don't use this ring right here ever to mix black with that to make this. I always use this right here in order to make that right there. And so you can see here I am making this. Okay, so there it is. There's my true color that I just kind of put in there. You're just like your blue that comes in your tube. Then this is blue mixed with white, and then this is blue mixed with black. And so that's how you want to kind of work this. As you move around, my recommendation is you always start from over here and make your way down. After I'm done with this, I'm going to need to wash my brush, get the paint out of there. Your brush won't come totally clean when you're done. You'll notice that my brush they'll work fine. You'll notice, see the brush is kind of dirty. This is an unused brush right here, and you can see it's perfectly fine. I can use it like this, and when I start to use my yellow. And so I kind of recommend you go blue like this, and then start yellow. Once you're done with yellow, use your blue in order to make your green. Move this way in, and then since you've got your green made, then you'll do your blue green and then your yellow green right here, okay? And so keep that in mind. That's the way I'd like this setup. When you're all done, what I would like you to do is I'd like you to kind of go through here, and I would like you to mark off the different types of sections that you worked with. And so this one right here is my yellow. And so what is yellow? Yellow is a primary color, just like so, okay? And then your green is your secondary color. So just use a pencil and write that in there right here like so. And then identify your tertiary colors. And so this is a tertiary color. This one would be your yellow green, and then this one right here is your tertiary right here. And that's going to be your green blue right here. And so as you move around the color wheel, this one right here will be violet, which will be your secondary color. And then you'll have your two tertiaries right next to it. And then you'll have red. Red right here will be primary. And then you'll have your secondary right here. Secondary right here will be orange. And this right here will be your orange yellow. And this one right here will be your orange red. As you look at your color wheel template, you'll kind of see what's going on here in terms of like what you're doing, where things go. So always kind of refer back to this as you're working on this project. When I'm evaluating this, the two things that I'm really looking for, neatness counts so that it looks like you took some time and energy and effort to do this. And then the second thing that I'm really looking for is like there's a differentiation between the colors. So like let's say blue-green. Blue-green here looks just a hint more green than this blue right here, or I mean, obviously this is your green right here. This green, this blue-green right here looks a hint more blue than this green right here. So try to get them to separate right here. The other thing, just a repeat of the hint before. Be very careful when you're using your black right there, because your black can overpower your color very quickly. And that's how I'd like you to make your color wheel. And you should find this template right here on the Sakai website.